And we're back. Okay, so today I have to review a lot of stuff. I'm going to turn down my mic just a bit. The levels are a little too high. Okay, I think we're good now. Okay, I'm reviewing Iron Man 2 here, but we have a lot of review today, and I'm going to try to get through all of it today. So expect a ton of uploading. Just watch what you want. I don't really care. I'm mostly just doing this for myself. I'm aware I don't have an amazing audience, but I want to still review them in case someone wants to look back on it later on. Um, So yeah, this is Iron Man 2. This is a main installment. This is the third main installment of the MCU. Um, it takes place in between Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. I think the entirety of it takes in between the two, although events are simultaneous because they all take place in Fury's big week, which would be Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, Thor, and the end of Captain America. And of course the Avengers, but where Nick Fury kind of senses there might be a threat, and there's also a lot of superheroes coming in, and he's trying to just kind of make sense of it all. Yes, so the MCU is pretty barren right now. We really only have two real superheroes, but this one introduces a new one to us, War Machine, who is Rhodey, who we knew in the first movie. He's now played by Don Cheadle and will remain that way for the rest of the series, much like Edward Norton got replaced by Mark Ruffalo, and that will remain the same way for the rest of the series. Um, but I like Don Cheadle much better. So that this movie has a big W over Iron Man, and the fact that the casting is finally consistent, and it will remain consistent, and I like everyone who's casted in this movie. Um, this movie, of course, is here to really set up the Avengers. It's the first movie to really do that. Iron Man does it in the post-credit scene, but obviously, as we all know, he kind of rejects it. Sort of. So, I mean, you know. That's basically what we learned, is that in this movie he kind of rejects that. And that's why it has to take place in between, because obviously in the Incredible Hulk's last scene, Iron Man's talking to him about the Avengers Initiative to General Ross, and we will learn why that is the case. But Iron Man is a really, really, really good movie. So when you make a sequel of a movie, you're hoping that you can kind of make a better one, right? Like, make a better version of what you, like, try to capture lightning in a bottle twice. This movie does not do that. It's totally similar to Iron Man 1. It feels like it could be in the same realm. It's definitely a true sequel to that movie, but this movie does not hit. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of reasons why it doesn't do this, but I have to give it somewhere around like a 6, maybe even a 6 point, no, probably a 6, 5.5, 6.5, anywhere within that range really, probably a 6. It's not mid, it is better than being just mid, but it's not that far off, and one or two missteps more, and this would, actually, if you put Terrence Howard back in War Machine, yes, this would have been mid, so at least Don Cheadle was there. He makes just so much better War Machine. He's just so much better at it. Justin Hammer is a terrible villain, and his only good thing is that you get to see him later on, and it's a much better. We'll talk about him when we get there, but it's much better. He's a much better character for one reason and one reason only. However, every other character just sucks in this movie. I mean, even Tony. Tony just does stupid shit for no reason, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't hate this movie. I think that there's good parts about it, but the whole sequence with, like, the whole end sequence is so stupid. They're just going up against robots, and then they're defeating Whiplash, like, easily. Like, it was so and it was the same thing. It was a supervillain in an Iron Man suit. Enough. Like, is that his only villain archetype? We later learn that that's not, but it might as well be. Iron Man does a terrible, terrible job of stopping the villains all the way up until the... I would say he never does a great job taking care of his villains. Um, when he takes out Ironmonger, he does so. He doesn't even do it. Pepper does it. He just comes up with the idea. In Iron Man 2, he requests the help of Don Cheadle's War Machine to help him, and he literally wouldn't have beaten Whiplash without him. And it's meant to imply that even though he's a billionaire, even though he looks like he doesn't need any friends or doesn't need any teamwork, he does. And it is a good concept, but like literally even in Iron Man 3, you'll see it's not just him who takes out the villain. It's always him with someone else. And I'm trying to think, Incredible Hulk, like, it's just him. Like, no one really helps him. In later movies, we'll see the characters basically having to take out the villain themselves. Um, Thor's a little weird. It's not really a main villain, which is weird to say, but I mean there is, but it's just not like there's no final battle like confrontation type. It's just kind of like it ends in a. Thor is only good because it doesn't have like this stereotypical final battle. But Iron Man 2 does, and again, he needs Don Cheadle's help in order to do anything, which is fine. But I'm just saying that, like, for a solo movie, you should definitely learn how to take care of your villains. Like, he literally never does. He certainly helps. I would even say he does most of the work. But someone's always there to help him, to finish them off. He can't do it himself. It's a good... Again, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying that it's like... Yeah, it annoys me a little bit. Because he's supposed to be basically the most powerful hero in the whole world right now. Like, his power levels are higher than everyone else's, and I'd say that's probably the case. Because, I mean, Hulk, you could say, is more powerful than Iron Man, but he has so much money. Like, he has so much money. And that's really important, that he just has a crap ton of money. I mean, he can just do whatever the hell he wants, because he has just so much money. But yeah, I'd say, like, the villains in this movie, you have Ivan Vanko, you have Justin Hammer, I think that's it. If I'm missing one, then please, I apologize, but none of them fit the movie that well. They're okay. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna clown on one or the other and be like, oh, they suck, but like, Justin Hammer is just Justin. Like, none of them are amazing. Okay, that's important. We need to have some good villains. We haven't had any so far. Abomination is not a good villain, and no, we seriously just had no good villains. Well, that sucks, but I think that's going to conclude my kind of analysis of this movie. I think that the main point that they're trying to take away is that Iron Man needs help. And the plot of this movie is fine. I think it warrants a sequel. It will get a sequel. It'll get many more follow-up movies, in case you couldn't tell. But this is a step in the wrong direction for the franchise. And I'm happy that they were able to sort of retool it. But yeah, no. I mean, coming off of Iron Man, you want the sequel to be just as good, if not better. You do not accomplish that in this movie. And Marvel is known for making decent sequels. Like, it's not like the whole, like, sequel is better than the movie thing. That started with Iron Man. But it did not start with this movie. It started with, like, the next one, so. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all that. And yeah. Anyways, moving on.